Selling trending products on Etsy can boost your store's chances of making sales. But how do you find trends on Etsy, and how can you capitalize on trends with your products? In this video, I will be sharing with you my Etsy SEO strategy, and I'll also show you how I take the keywords that I find and put them into my titles and my tags. So if you've ever wanted to start selling products on Etsy, or if you have started selling products but you're not seeing significant sales, then this video is for you. Hey, if you're new here, and hey, if you're just coming back, my name is Shanice, and my purpose is to ensure that online moneymakers are able to, one, maximize their presence, and two, increase their sales. And so my goal for this video is that by the end of it, you will have a clear strategy for doing keyword research on Etsy. Before we actually go in and take a look at the strategy that I'm currently using to do keyword research on Etsy, we're going to talk about finding a product. So finding a product to sell is perhaps the very first step that most people would take in starting a business or starting a new online venture. And so you really do need to make sure that you can either find a great product that's already selling, or you can find a product that's perhaps not so much known, but you can use that product in a way that would cause it to start selling. And so if you're looking for a product to sell, I do have a few resources for you. So there is a video here on my channel that shows you 7 print-on-demand products that you can start selling today. And these are products that not a lot of people have heard of. So if you're interested in checking that video out, it's going to be in the description, but it's also going to be linked up here. Another resource I have for you is a free ebook, which you can download again in that description. And that ebook is going to share with you 51 products that you can start selling online. And of course, the third way that you can find products is just by looking online, right? You're going to sell online, you can find products to sell online. So you can look on Etsy, or you can even look on platforms like TikTok to kind of see what people are searching for. So there are a number of different ways that you can find a product to sell. Of course, your product can also be something that you are simply interested in, right? So I love sticky notes. So when I started my business, I started selling sticky notes because it was something that I loved and I used every day. So your product can just be that, or it can be something that's just trending online. So once you've found your product, or perhaps you can even do this before you actually find your product, is figure out how are you going to get that product manufactured and then to your customers. So are you looking to do something handmade? So for instance, if you wanted to make notepads, you could make notepads at home, right? So you could do handmade notepads. You can get somebody to manufacture that notepad for you, and you can ship them all to your home and ship the products from your home. So that would be more of a sourcing. So you're doing the designs and you're sourcing that final product and sending it to your customer. The third thing you can do is print on demand, which a lot of people do nowadays selling on Etsy. So although Etsy is traditionally handmade, a lot of people have been doing print on demand. And what they call this on Etsy is handmade with assistance. So basically you're creating your designs, but you're getting some help with manufacturing. So these are just some ways in which you can get that final product and be able to get it to your customer. And so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go ahead and hop into that keyword research. As we look to get started with our keyword research, we're going to say that you hypothetically already have a product in mind. So the first thing I like to do is I actually like to go to Etsy.com, or this could be whatever selling platform you're using. So in this case, we are talking about Etsy. So I like to just go to that selling platform and just do a general browse. So let's go ahead and do that. So the very first thing I like to do once I get to Etsy is just stay on the home page and just kind of click around, browse around, do a general search. Now, Etsy did just release this new feature called gift mode, and it's basically like an AI that suggests gifts depending on the type of person that you may be shopping for. We're not really going to look too much in gift mode in this video, but it is there if it's something that you want to check out. So the first thing we're going to do is look at what's the focus for Etsy right now. So on Etsy, we can see that there is a spring focus, which makes sense. Spring is coming up on us. Easter is coming up on us. So it makes sense that there is this spring focus. So we can see some really good categories that Etsy is highlighting. So they're highlighting personalized gifts, they're highlighting home decor, clothing, Easter, trends, and things that are on sale. So we're gonna go in a couple of these and just browse around. So let's go ahead and start in personalized gifts. So in personalized gifts, we're seeing cups or mugs. This is kind of like the Stanley Cup. We're seeing candles as being a bestseller, another cup or mug. So these are all things that are, of course, personalized. So regular products, simple products, but they do have that personalizable element to them. We're seeing passport covers, which is something I shared in that video I talked about. I did talk a bit about passport covers. We're seeing that there. Something else I just noticed that I've been seeing a lot is this flower. I've been seeing a lot of this birth flower thing on Etsy. So I don't know if that's a new trend or if, it's Easter, so flowers are coming up again, but that is something that I have been seeing a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at one more category. So let's say home decor. Let's see what's in home decor. So in home decor, we are seeing lots of wooden items. We're seeing plant holders. What else are we seeing? More floral, so botanical. Again, it is Easter, so florals just make sense, which in florals really makes sense any time of year. So lots of floral themed. We're seeing different signs. Okay, so once you have a general idea of products that are trending or even things that you're seeing on products, then you can kind of have an idea of what type of trends you may need to look out for. So now that you've gone on to Etsy, you've done a general search, what you need to do is to take that information. So hopefully you took some notes, and we're going to use that with a keyword research tool. So there are lots of them out there, especially for Etsy. But for this video today, we're going to be using Sales Samurai. And I do want to thank them for partnering with me on this video. So Sales Samurai does have a 3-day free trial. So I encourage you to click the link in my description, go ahead and sign up and get logged in. So once you log into Sales Samurai, you're going to come to this homepage, which is filled with tutorials. So if you need assistance in figuring out how to use this tool, then this is where you would want to start. They also do have a Chrome extension. So if you install this in your Chrome browser, then whenever you go on Etsy and you type in something, it'll show you some keyword suggestions right there and kind of just give you some data on those keywords. What I like to do in Sales Samurai is to actually start in the search. And when I go in the search, I'm going to show you exactly what I like to do. So once you're in search in Sales Samurai, what I like to do is click on the basic search and just kind of type in my idea. But you can also do a single listing search, which means that you would put the link to a listing and you would just be looking at that specific listing. So let's say here that we type in passport cover, right? So that was one of the things that I mentioned in my last video. And this was also something that we saw when we were looking through things on Etsy from those recommendations. So I went ahead and I typed passport cover. So we're going to go ahead and search that. So once that search has populated, here are a couple of things that you want to pay attention to. The first thing you want to pay attention to is the search volume. How many people are searching for this keyword or searching for this term? The next thing you want to pay attention to is the competition. How many shops are creating products and trying to rank for this keyword? You can also pay attention to the Google search volume. So not just how many people are searching on Etsy, but how many people are searching on Google. Now, you may have noticed that Etsy does run ads on Google. They call this offsite ads. So you could possibly get sales from Google traffic. So I don't want you to leave that out. The next thing we want to pay attention to as we scroll down is this section right here that covers things that are trending on Etsy. They also have things that are trending on Google. So let's go ahead and dive into the Etsy trends. So of course we're seeing passport cover, right? Which is what we typed in. We're seeing a search volume of over 200,000, but we're seeing that that competition is about 39,000. So this is a really broad keyword. You would still want to use passport cover because it's just the most descriptive for what you're trying to sell, but it's not going to be a keyword that's going to land you a lot of sales because as you can see, the competition is high. However, if we take a look at this keyword here that Sales Samurai is showing us. It says Explorer passport cover. We're seeing that this has a search volume of about 16,000. However, there are only 385 products that are currently trying to rank for Explorer passport cover. Now, Explorer passport cover, when I think about that, I'm just thinking about something with maps on there, right? So some type of geography type of cover, that's what I'm thinking about. And it sounds like a really simple design that you could possibly create. So if I like this, what I would do here in Sales Samurai is actually click on this heart. So let's go ahead and try one more, and that is going to be sweatshirts. All right, so here we are with sweatshirts, and sweatshirts is perhaps one of the most popular print on demand items. If you go to Printify, sweatshirts is definitely going to be a bestseller, and it makes sense because people are always buying clothes. Some people would have just hundreds of sweatshirts. Like I probably have like 20 sweatshirts. So people have multiple of these items. So it's not a bad thing to sell, but the competition is definitely there, right? High competition. So what we want to do here is we want to go ahead and find some things that we could possibly go ahead and sell. So I'm not sure what this is. That could just be a misspell of beach. And that is something that you want to pay attention to. But again, I don't know if people would actually be wearing sweatshirts on the beach. So maybe this is something that I just have no clue of. So whenever you find things that you have no clue of, you don't know what this thing is, one thing I would do is go ahead and check trademarks. Make sure that this isn't some type of brand name, a big clothing brand. Just make sure that you're being very careful because you do not want to run into trademark issues. Stay away from things like Disney and superheroes. Like you do want to stay away from things like that. So just pointing that out because I have no idea what this is. So felt like a good time to insert that. So again, Adidas sweatshirt, you want to stay away from that unless you are reselling an Adidas shirt, right? So if you're reselling an Adidas shirt, do you? But if you're creating something unique, you want to stay away from things like that. What else are we seeing here? Let's go on page 2, see if we can find anything cool and juicy. Cat sweatshirts, good search volume. So let's give the competition some time to load up because this looks like a really good one. Okay, high competition, so I wouldn't go for cat sweatshirts. What else are we seeing? Chicago sweatshirts, chicken sweatshirts. What? So chicken sweatshirts has a search volume of over 40,000 and a competition of 12. That's actually not bad. Let's go ahead and take chicken sweatshirts and see what we get on Etsy. So this is something that I like to do. Instead of just using the keyword and just saying, oh, this is great, I actually like to take it and then go back to Etsy. So if I put chicken sweatshirts in Etsy, I'm seeing a couple of things. This person actually has some chickens on their sweatshirt. This person is saying just a girl who loves chickens. But none of these items right now are showing me bestseller. What is showing me bestseller is this one with a bunch of little chickens on there. Something else that we're seeing bestseller on is fluent in foul language. This is cool. So this is funny, it's cute, and it is talking about chickens. I love this one. So that is something too that you should be doing is when you find the keywords on Sales Samurai, you then want to go ahead back over to Etsy, type it in, and take a look at the bestseller. Because what you want to do is create something similar, not a copy, but create something similar to the bestseller. That is how you're going to start making sales, right? So again, you're not copying, but you're taking some inspiration, right? So we would have never found chicken sweatshirts if we hadn't used Sales Samurai. And so that's why it's so important for you to take your ideas, take the things that you're thinking about creating, and actually use a keyword research tool to go ahead and one, validate your idea, but two, find some ideas, find suggestions that you would never ever think about. Because I'm not a farm girl, so I would not think about chicken sweatshirts. I don't even know if I would wear a chicken sweatshirt, so it might not be in my wheelhouse. And so that is why it's great to use softwares that's not powered by your mind or limited by your mind, right? It's powered by data and search volume. All right, y'all. So now that we have the basics down, I actually want to go ahead and show you how we would use these keywords in our titles and tags over on Etsy. So we have birth flower sweatshirt. We're just going to use this as the example. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And we're going to actually use this as the starter for the title because this is the main keyword for us. It is a birth flower sweatshirt. Of course, I like to make sure that I have all caps. Now, in terms of dividers, some people use that little divider button. Other people may use a comma. It really depends on you. I haven't heard that it makes much of a difference. For purposes of this video, we're going to go ahead and use a comma. So we're going to say that this is a birth flower sweatshirt. Now, when we looked at the birth flower sweatshirt, it seemed to be more feminine. So I'm actually going to go ahead and say birth flower sweatshirt for women. What else can we say? Something else that we see, so instead of birth flower, let's find another way that they may say this. I believe I had seen some people just saying birth month. So let's see if we can see that right here. So we see birth month flower. So that is something that we could use as well. Of course, things like gifts work well here. So birth month flower gifts for women would work well here because it is for women. If you wanted to get specific, so we know next month is going to be April. So if you wanted to get specific and say April, you could put April birthday gift, or another word for gift, April birthday t-shirt or April birthday shirt could work here. So you just want to play around with some variety. You don't necessarily want to repeat too many things, but of course, sometimes you cannot help but repeat things. So that is kind of what you would put here. If you wanted to put cotton, put the material of the shirt, you could put things like that here. Now we want to go down to our tags. And when it comes to the tags, again, some people may say don't repeat anything. Again, this really depends on you. But something you could put here is floral. Oh gosh, I can't spell, you guys. Floral t-shirt. You could put t-shirt here. So floral t-shirt. So that will pop up. Botanical. So just another way of saying flowers. You could say hoodie because we already said sweatshirt. Some people may call it a hoodie. Some people may call it a pullover. So maybe you could say pullover for teens. So we already have women. Now you can say teens. You could say something for girls, right? So we can also go back to Sales Samurai and actually find some additional items. What else are we seeing here? Let's see if we could find a couple more good ones. So we're seeing birth flower prints. That could work. I wonder if this whole thing, of course, this is the copy button too, you guys. You don't have to highlight and copy. So that works, birth flower prints, right? Because it's going to be printed on the shirt. So you just want to go through and see what other keywords, what other variations you could find to fill in your tags. Again, try your best not to necessarily repeat a whole bunch of words, but of course you don't want it to not make sense, especially if the entire tag fits. That is just my strategy. If you have a different strategy, let me know. If you plan to customize these, you could put personalized gifts here or shirts, whichever one you want to put. You could put custom tees. So just like that, you would just go through, you would make sure to use all 13 tags. If you get stuck, of course, go back to Sales Samurai, click through, see what pops up. So custom birth flower, we did put in custom tees. You could put custom birth flower if you wanted to. If you are doing embroidery, that would work. But if your design is not embroidery, you wouldn't really want to use that one. But that's pretty much it for this section of the video. I just wanted to show you how you could take those keywords and kind of use them in your titles and tags. So we're going to go ahead and hop back into the rest of the video. So now that we have a good general idea of how you would find keywords to use, if you actually scroll down past all of this, you will see additional information. The next thing it shows us is a couple of listings. So here we're seeing this bird flower sticker. And if you click on details, it would actually give you additional information about this, right? So it will show you the views, when they created it. It's also going to show you how much it's being sold for. And then you get insight as to the tags that they are using. Another feature that's really great in Sales Samurai is, of course, this calculator. If you're just starting out on Etsy and you need to get an idea of what your actual profit would be, then it's really, really great to take advantage of this. So you can put in all of your expenses, and then it's going to calculate for Etsy fees and things like that. And it's going to show you an idea of what your estimated profit would be. So this is a really, really great feature in Sales Samurai that you can take advantage of as you are looking to price your items. So one last feature that I do want to highlight for you here on Sales Samurai is the calendar. Now, the good thing about this calendar is that it is going to be one way that you can also use to kind of predict trending products, as that's what we're talking about in this video, is finding those trends. So something that is coming up, let's go ahead and actually jump to March. Something that is coming up in March, well, first we know March is Women's History Month, right? So that is one thing. Something that is coming up is Mother's Day. So you can start predicting products that would sell well for Mother's Day. Like, for instance, we saw a lot of jewelry on Etsy, right? So we know jewelry is going to sell well for Mother's Day. And I don't want us to focus too much on just generally big things. It does have simple things that you may not really think about, right? Like Siblings Day, Barbershop Quartet Day, Grilled Cheese Day. So you can create little things on these and really start seeing sales and making money. So as I said, Sales Samurai does have a 3-day free trial. So click the link in my description and sign up, log in, and do as much as you can in those 3 days. Now, if you're not able to get everything done, and of course, as you create new products, you're going to need to continue doing your research, you are able to sign on to the full membership for 20% off as long as you use my coupon code ShaniceDK Designs, all lowercase. And all that information will be in the description box for you as well. Your opportunity. So as I wrap up this video, I do want to encourage you that if you are into print on demand, so one of the 3 ways I mentioned that you can get your products made, so you can get it to your customer. If you are interested in print on demand, then I have 2 video recommendations for you, and you can choose which one you want to hop into next. So you can either, 1, go ahead and check out those 7 products that nobody has ever heard of that you can start selling using print on demand, or find out how you are able to set up Printify with Etsy so you can open your print on demand store today. So go ahead and check out those 2 videos, and I'm gonna see you over there.